People usually watch only the first 10 seconds, so please, please, please support me on Patreon, I really need this, thanks, bye. And now the long version, please watch it all. At 1.5x, at 2x, but please watch it. This is Patreon, a platform where you can support your favorite content creators with some monthly fee. Or in my case, it's you giving me a tip for giving you a tip, a Coda tip, a lot of them. And it's not just the tip for nothing. If you look up, you will see that each tip amount comes with some reward. So for supporting me, you get something nice in return. I'll talk about that in a moment. So why do I want to record Coda videos? First, I believe that Coda desperately needs better tutorials. Yes, there are videos by Coda themselves and they keep recording these, and they are good to get started. But they mostly showcase features and explain simple use cases and rarely go very deep, which I think might not be enough to succeed with Coda. Then there's also a few other creators recording about Coda. And while those are certainly useful, I believe I have something unique to bring to the table. After all, I am the top expert for Coda. You can ask other experts, nobody would argue with that. It's not just about the number of likes, it's about innovating. I compiled the list some time ago how many of the novel uses for Coda were discovered by me versus other experts, and you can see who's been making the biggest splash. I'm not just coming from Sheets or no code, I'm actually a pretty skilled developer who used to win awards for my work, and I also have teaching experience. I used to work as an assistant professor at my university, teaching computer science to freshmen. I once trained a person who used to be a zilch in programming. His wealthy parents put him into an elite university in Germany, but then when he started failing his assignments, they hired me to help him, and now he's a tech lead at one of the Amazon AWS teams in Berlin. So yes, I do have this in me. I know how to teach. Besides, that's been my passion since I ever discovered Coda. How did I make the reputation for myself? By answering questions and giving very thorough answers and posting tips and tricks and various tutorials. And yes, I do have some experience recording videos already. I've been doing that since 2019. It's just that my first videos really had bad editing, bad sound, bad lighting, oftentimes they were too long, and generally speaking I was mostly focused on the Coda tricks, teaching how to do some very niche things and not really something that everyone will apply. So consider this relaunch a work on my mistakes. Yes, I will keep recording the complicated videos sometimes, but most of my content, especially in the beginning, will be focused on teaching the fundamentals, because what drives people away from Coda the most is the lack of such content. Plus, I'll put extra effort into editing so that you don't get bored with long videos. I'll give you the best demos to get the point across, and overall I'll try to record it in a way that you will enjoy watching. I know exactly what to teach and I know exactly how, and you'll see it for yourself. Now, why Patreon? You would ask, Paul, if you're so cool, why don't you just make money from client work and do videos alongside? Well, there are a few reasons. First, it's really impossible to combine client work and making good videos. I've been doing that in the past and you've seen my previous videos. If not, there is a link. As I said, doing good editing and coming with good examples really takes a lot of energy, and when there are clients, all my creative energy just goes there. Besides, I'm really burnt out and fatigued for the last few years. You can see it in my streams from 2021 already. You'll get access to them after you subscribe. That I really wanted to leave client work behind and focus on creating content. I actually did launch Patreon in 2021, but it couldn't sustain me, so I had to return back to taking clients. But hey Paul, why don't you just take one juicy contract, finish it in a month, and then record as long as your heart desires? Well, I'm not getting those juicy contracts either, and I guess it's my location to blame. As you might or might not know, I live in Ukraine, which is currently under attack and fighting a war. But even before the full-scale invasion broke out, big clients were hesitant to work with Ukraine. It's offshore, it's unfamiliar grounds. There's also legislation and policies. Big Ukrainian companies who have offices in the United States do work with big clients, but small contractors like myself don't. So yeah, I might be the biggest Coda expert, but in the end of the day, experts from the same areas will just be more familiar and preferable. Now, I don't complain, I've been getting good projects that put bread and butter on my table, but I've never had the one that would give me a few months of runway so that I could actually sit down and do the filming. I did win the Maker Fund, but shortly after, the war started and most of it went towards volunteering and relief efforts. 2022 was pretty disappointing. We put all our family funds into helping others. We've organized an NGO and volunteered like crazy. Then 2023 wasn't any better as the global crisis struck. And I've only got a few good clients, most just wasted my time on discovery calls and bailed. Plus my health deteriorated, my mental health deteriorated. Long COVID took its toll. I've had COVID 3 times. If you compare my old videos where I could talk without interruption and present along the side, and even this video where I have to jump cut every few words because I cannot finish even one sentence without stumbling now, you'll see I don't have energy for this anymore. So that's why I decided to finally make a leap of faith, cancel on all of my clients or actually transfer them to my partner, and finally sit down to record all of this content to offload it from my mind into something that can benefit all of you. And now that I'm basically jobless and the Almighty didn't gift me with a hot body to start an OnlyFans, I have no other option than to ask you for your support. And that's why I keep saying that without it, the future videos may not exist. I really have only very limited runway, and if I cannot live off Patreon, I'll just stop trying and I'll get back to taking clients and hating my life. You know what's ironic? The clients that I'm taking should totally do the jobs themselves, only if they knew Coda. But there's no videos for them to learn all of it from. And I cannot make these videos because I have these clients to tend to. It's a vicious circle that I'm just stuck in, and I really need your help to get out of it. You'll see how much I'll be able to do: packs, content, courses, videos, template docs, once I can live off without taking client work. Please help me make this a reality. Okay, what's in it for you? When you're crowdsourcing me and basically collectively paying for my production, I don't have to seek funding elsewhere. Meaning that not only I don't rely on clients, I also don't rely on YouTube monetization or pushing pack and template sales down your throats. This allows me to be open and sincere with you and teach you honest things. I won't have to resort to clickbait, make silly faces for thumbnails. After all, I'm not a clown and you are not little kids. To put shortly, I don't have to succumb to pleasing the algorithm, because I'll know that I have you who are interested in what I'm teaching. And I also won't have to resort to paid partnerships, which means that you can be sure that if I recommend some tool or resource, that's because I honestly want to and not because I've been paid to. Plus, you're gonna be changing my life and the lives of those around me. But yeah, let's talk about the rewards. At just $2 per month or more, you are getting access to all unreleased videos. This time I'm making a commitment to release all new episodes on a schedule. For that, I'll have to always keep a healthy pool of pre-recorded episodes, so I'm going to work on them in advance. Well, these videos will be published eventually for everyone for free on YouTube, but you as a $2 patron will be able to watch them before anyone else. Also, since you're now a patron, you get access to all my previous posts, to the comments, and to direct messages on this platform. If you bump it up to $5 per month or more, you're also getting access to a special voting doc, where you will be able to alter the fate of this channel by casting your vote each month on the topic that's of the most interest to you. I have about 100 episode ideas myself already, and I'll keep sourcing them from all over the place, the community, the comments. You don't have to be a patron to give me an idea, but you have to be a patron to cast your vote, and votes will matter. And finally, the tier I recommend you to pick, the $10 tier, which is still less that you would be paying for an extra Coda seat. It's gonna give you the access to all the docs that I'm preparing for my videos, and many of the docs that I'm also showing in my videos. And if those are like super premium docs or some personal docs, but I choose to sell them, you will be getting a massive discount. Also, you're getting not 1 but 3 votes in your voting doc. And also, in the end of each month, I will be running a live stream. Now, the live stream will be public for everyone, but only you at $10 tier will also get a special Dory doc where you will be able to submit your questions for me to answer at the live stream. Of course, if you want to pledge more, you can do that. I will appreciate it very much. I don't know, maybe I've added some convenience tiers at the moment I go live. However, if you choose to pledge more, I cannot really give you more. Not at the moment, at least. I've made that mistake before. I overpromised to the higher tiers, I had people subscribe subscribing to them, but because my whole Patreon thing flopped in the past, I couldn't deliver anything to those tiers. So I'm not going to repeat the same mistake again. I'm only promising you what I can do. One day I will also add a community or a chat, and maybe I'll offer some just for you episodes, but for now it's just that. The early access, the voting doc, the streams, and sharing all the docs that I used in my videos. Also, if you can support me in advance for the whole year, that would be super sweet. Not only this will be a massive upfront help for me, but also you are getting 2 months off. Besides, in a not so far future I will bump all the tiers respectively to $5, $10 and $20. But the price that you choose now will remain yours even after these changes. There is one more thing though. Outside of Patreon, I'm offering 3 golden tickets. What does that mean? I personally am not going to take client work anymore, I am fed up with it. However, if you can help me out now and sponsor me massively, I will make a promise to you that when you need my help with Coda, I will do it for you myself. The price of each ticket is 15 grand, I'm only offering 3, it's a limited proposition. What's included for you is everything I ever publish, plus access to all the courses I ever make and certification for one person, plus 5 hours deposit on my work, which you cannot request before June 2024, because until then I'll be busy filming videos. Obviously this is not an offer for everyone, but I know that a few big CEOs are watching me. Hey Mr. Beast, so this is your opportunity to help me out, invest in me, and know that whenever you need it, you're getting the absolutely best treatment on your Coda setup. If you're interested, don't subscribe to the Patreon, just write me at paul@codatricks.com and I'll prepare you an invoice. Now let's talk about the milestones. Obviously, since we're talking about the cost of living, my milestones are mostly monetary. My first big milestone is getting $3,000 a month. This is when you and I can be absolutely sure that I won't have to take up any client work. This will offset the living costs of my family, but will not yet let me do anything beyond that. Like I cannot buy a yacht with this money. But still, the 3 grand will already make this sustainable. The next milestone is 5k per month. At this point I can save up a little and upgrade my gear and my setup. I can invest in a better camera, I can replace my 10 years old computer. I mean, when I bought it, it was top of the line and it's still working well for Coda, but now that I'm editing videos, it's struggling a lot. Maybe I can even rent a studio with a nice background and even replace this goddamn green chair. And the next big milestone is 8,000 a month. This is pretty much my earning goal that can get me covered completely. When I reach $8,000, I'll make not 2 but 3 videos a month. Let that be the motivation for you to reach it. Now let's stop at that. This is already a huge amount of money to pull out of Patreon, and not many creators can reach it. But many drops make up an ocean, and Coda says they have over 1 million users already. So with all the fees at play, it only takes 1,000 users to become my supporters. 1,000 patrons, is it that much? Given that the community already has more than 10,000 people. So if just 10% of those whom I've helped with my answers would come back and help their sensei, we would reach this goal in no time. No, but let's dream big. If I'm ever making $20,000 per month consistently on Patreon, and when the war is over with our victory of course, I'm throwing the biggest goddamn party here and I'm inviting all of you. Now there's also another set of milestones, which is every 500 patrons. Every time I hit another 500 patrons mark, everyone who's been a patron at this moment will get something valuable from me. Like a template that I was going to sell, this cohort of people will get it for free. But only if they have the patience to stay a patron until I strike that milestone. Thank you for staying with me till the end of this video. It's been more personal and not as entertaining. If you've known me long enough, you know that I'm pretty stoic usually. But with all the circumstances at play, I really need your support.